target audience of young people, right? So they had a lot of meetings. They worked with a marketing design company. They had selected a final design they were going to work on and implement, and they sent out a memo to the university faculty and staff. They said, you know, we are changing our vision, our strategy for the university. We're also going to change our look and feel of our branding. Now, unfortunately, the design leaked. The design leaked. I want to do this now. So the design leaked. This mark got out, the new logo got out, and people went nuts. They had a Facebook page of over 5,500 different people, and they got 40 pages of comments saying, my 12-year-old niece could do better than this using Corel Draw or whatever. Welcome to Whackdonald's. What are these lines? It's lasers, right? But the main theme is that people's response was, this does not reflect our university. It is not dignified. So the challenge with university branding was, you need to make a lot of people happy. You need to make your faculty and staff happy. You need to make your alumni happy. You need to make your donors happy. You need to make your student body happy. So they really missed the mark. They may have appealed to young people, but even the young people criticized this. Bad. Actually, if you search for the videos now and you check the references, you can have our PowerPoints, by the way, if you want to look later. Waterloo has had to do damage control. They've deleted the videos, they've deleted the memos, they've had to do damage with it. Let's look at a good example. So there's their website. This is their new mark. So they updated the typography. They kept the shield. Newbold. How about a good example? One of our Adventist colleges. We have our classic book with text with the flame, which like all of us have, right? Kind of clunky typography. But they rebranded in 2013, and I think they did a very good job. It's very clean, it's graphic, it's dignified. They have they renamed the college as well as Newbold College of Higher Education. And what I found very interesting was in their memo, I'll just read briefly from it, you have this as well, is the principle states this, is that we're passionate about energizing the identity of Newbold with our church stakeholders and communities. So they are thinking about everyone involved, right? What I found most interesting though was that the name, logo, strapline were voted by Newbold's Board of Governors when it met in the plenary session of November 2012. This action follows the approval of the new vision, mission, and value statements voted by the governors in May 2012. So what actually happened first was the strategy. Was the strategy and the vision changed of the college before any other representation changed of the school. And there's a look at their website and how they're using some of their branding. Actually, the website's very nice. So institutional branding. Branding, I just want to share it, it's much more than just the logo. We looked at the logo, but like how I asked you guys, when you thought about what universities or colleges you went to, it was more than that. You did not choose based off of the logo, right? You chose based off of the brand value, what that university represented, which is many different things. So institutional branding is first and foremost about strategy, and then making the strategy live and breathe in the world around it, through students, through our faculty, through our staff, through the experience that our young people have here. So that was, that's kind of the summary of the article that I read. And I have a question that I proposed to myself and also to us here as well. You can write it down or we can discuss it afterwards. And it is this: how do the brand strategies of our competition affect AIU? So in terms of technology, how much more information students are getting, how they're comparing,
so much. So this is the question that we have, that you have in your tables, and we'd like to discuss. What do you think about these? We have seen examples of our competition here in Thailand and at other universities looking at the image. Is there any questions, any comments that you would like to bring to the floor? The floor is open. Any questions?
The first question that would come from the question right here. Who is our competition? Who are our competitors?
That's a question too, is our competition the other SDU universities, right? We're all thinking that. Or is it the local universities? Is it Stanford? Is it, Mahidol? Is it Chilliwack, right? So that's a question as well. So it seems like there needs to be some kind of medium or balance between how are we going to place ourselves in with those different audiences.
Correct. So we have to identify our branding, our identity has to be different than those in our competition. Who are we competing against? Or who are the people that students have to choose between? Do they choose between us and other universities? Where is their what's the point that they are choosing, or where is that they are comparing us to? Might be something important that we can note. Any other question or comments?
Do you think that being called an international university makes us competing with international universities mostly?
Correct. What our research on online search has shown is that a lot of people come to our website looking for international universities. So there are a number of them in our region that will pop up in the top 15 options in Google when you put international university, and ours right now doesn't appear at the top on the first page of Google on that term. So it's very valid point. And then the question mainly that I would ask for this presentation is, looking at all this, how does our image react or comes to influence our students based on our competition?
Yes, and to answer that question, we have to ask the more important question is, who is our target? Because that determines who is our competitor as well. So, who is our target?
Well, let us look. Today's presentation is about what are we selling? That's one question that we were asking, and I sent you the first email. So what are we selling? So if we have to determine who is our competitor, if we have to determine who is that we want to market to, then we have to know also what we are selling, correct? So you have to know who you're selling it to, what are you selling, and what we want to buy from you. So I want to talk a little bit. I got this quote here and I found it interesting, because it says that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And I found this to be true in my own experience, because you have to learn, you have to see. I mean, there are a couple of movies I have watched lately, and you see how in one generation things have changed so much. In one generation, in less than 80 years, 80 years, we have gone from having slaves working on the cotton fields in the U.S. to having a U.S. president, Afro-American in the U.S. in one generation. That's how much change we have. And it is something interesting, because as we look at the strategy, doing marketing strategy, we have to look mainly on 4 points. I look at specialization, differentiation, segmentation, and concentration. Of course, if you know a little bit about business and marketing, each one of these can be a completely different book. You find books this thick about each of the topics. And they form the part of how we make the marketing strategy, how we compete. And now, as we They say, according to Smith 2013, it says that we are facing a brave new world, the most fast-paced and exciting period in human history. We are experiencing more change at a quicker rate than any previous generation. And this change is driven in part by those devices that we have in our own pockets. Smith, of course, is the chairman of Google. Then, on Guardian 2013, they said that prospective students want to make better informed decisions and require a greater amount of information and engagement from a university. The students want to follow, friend, tag, and pin their brand, the universities. So things are changing very fast, and maybe that's one of the reasons also why we want to share with you what is happening in the market. Because many times in our positions here at the university, we don't have time to look at what is happening outside there. We are doing our curriculums, doing our class strategies, we are going to meetings, and sometimes we don't see what our other universities or competition or what people are looking for outside. So we want to keep reading, and specifically in marketing, I want to make sure that we can say this is because it has been studied. Today, as in previous generations, we have the liberty today to say not only that I believe, but we can say according to. And I got a lot of trouble in my thesis for that, because I always have to say I believe this because according to, I have to support my thinking, you know. And when you do the thesis, your doctoral, you always have to support, you know, what do you say. So in marketing, it's like that. Today we have a lot of studies on Asia, on marketing strategies, on universities. So we are pretty much, we cannot say I think or I feel we should do this. We have to say I think we could do this, but according to this research and that research, we have to be methodical because the time is changing, and things are changing very fast. How we do things, how things are done. Generally, in the university, we understand that how we get students follows a chart like this. It was called the admission funnel. So it comes from the brand essence, what people perceive of us, the reputation or image, and then it goes through the marketing or the creating of demand. Could be digital, could be traditional, and this brings on leads, people that might be interested in coming to a university. So these become prospective students after they sign up for our information, they come to our website, they call us. After they become prospective, then they have to inquire. Then they have to call. They have to call Veralisa, or they have to call the registry, or maybe they call Kumchamay Porn. So then they become prospective, or they inquire. Then they have to become applicants. They have to apply. And after they apply, we have to accept them. But I believe that even after that, we accept them. Those are the right fit students. But then they have to accept our acceptance. They have to accept that they want to come here and that we have accepted them. So this is pretty much how the students come here. But then we research in this process, we can lose a lot of students, or we can lose a lot of efforts. In the past, marketing or advertising is a 50-50 chance. Before people will understand that when you invest $100 in marketing or in advertising, you know that 50% is lost. Which 50% is lost, they didn't know. Today, we can actually know. And it's interesting to understand what students are looking at. According to our research in 2011, with all universities' websites and how they transfer to students, they discovered that 75% of students went at some point to the university website. At some point, 70% of the student population did a search about the university. 65% they asked family and friends. 55% they look at the brochures and the things that we have. Then we of course have counselors, mentor, agents, social networks, 28%. But the difference is that with buying a car or selling a product, you can specifically say, okay, this is how you came to know about my product. about buying a car or about buying a toothbrush. But in education, the decision-making process is longer. They take more information in before they make a decision. And not only the students, also the parents. And now, with the different form factors of cell phones, computers, they say that 37% of the information that students receive are coming from the cell phones, and only 63% from the computers. Also, it's 14%, notice a 14% increase year over year on search. That people are searching online more about universities than before. But the problem with searching online is that not always you get what is best on top of the results. You get what is relevant. So, sorry. You get what is relevant. So many times on the search, what is relevant, 62% of times, they will look at YouTube videos. So if you go and search something and you see a video, most likely you are to click on the video. And 57% only, they will look at the institutional website. So many times people will know about the university first through YouTube or some other kind of video online provider. And also, for example, here with Skittles brand. Skittles have a beautiful website. If you go to the website, it's a beautiful, very interactive website. But yet, they only have, about 23,000 people from the US visiting that website every month. 23,000 is good. I mean, we get about 3,000 in our website, in AIU. They get 23,000 Skittles. But then on their Facebook page, they attract 320,000 to their Facebook page. So people are going more to the Facebook. And then we have a trend. A study from 2006 showed the different social medias, how they have been growing, and how many users we have in them. As you see, steady growth in Facebook, Twitter, but then the growth of Google+, of Pinterest, Tumblr, WordPress, LinkedIn has also matched that of Facebook. So we cannot predict which thing they are using more. Even research, late research from past year have shown that people from the ages of 16 to 20, they are using less Facebook than before. Now they're moving to other apps because Facebook is being used now by the grandparents, by their parents, by their teachers. So they don't want to post so many on Facebook because they know that the teacher is watching. So the trend has been done that they are going to some other apps on the cell phones. So this is something that creates also a problem or a challenge for us. But for me, or for us in marketing, we say that this customer service in social media is a challenge for us. Not because of how I'm going to spend the money of the university on advertising, but what is happening. I can control how the banner looks. I can control how my logo looks. But I cannot control what people say on social media. What is the image that is being out there? And that brings me to an interesting example. Because in the year 2008, somebody had a very bad experience with United Airlines. They were flying and the guy had a bad experience. Customer service was horrible. After 2 years of trying to get good customer service, he said to the manager, okay, look, fine, don't help